Welcome to today's market report. European stock markets are seen opening marginally higher on Thursday, helped by strong gains on Wall Street overnight after President Donald Trump revived hopes of a fiscal stimulus package in the US. DAX future contract traded 0.3% higher, just above 13,000. CAC climbed 0.4% at 4,900. FTSE rose 0.1% at 5,900. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 1.9% higher on Wednesday to hit a new month high, while S&P 500 climbed 1.7% and the NASDAQ added 1.9%. These indexes jumped on renewed hopes for stimulus after Trump rolled back on comments from just a day earlier and said he was in favor of targeted coronavirus aid. This could help the overall tone earlier today, but there will be still an element of caution with the ECB scheduled to release the minutes from its latest rate-setting meeting later in the session. Globally, risk assets have rallied since mid-March on the flood of central bank and government support for economies reeling from coronavirus-induced lockdowns world over. A second wave of coronavirus infections hitting Europe in particular has resulted in the imposition of more restrictions, promoting fears of a further economic slowdown. ECB President Christine Lagarde said earlier this week that the second leg of what policymakers had hoped would be a V-shaped recovery looked shaky, a comment that many took as preparing the ground for an increase to its main bond buying program at its December meeting. With the Eurozone's €750 billion recovery fund not expected to yield results until next year, the pressure on the ECB to keep reflating the economy is not going away anytime soon. Euro area core inflation has surprised to be the downside lately and hit a record low in September. The ECB staff forecast horizon will cover 2023 for the first time in December, and a staff forecast showing inflation still clearly below target in 2023 will be hard to ignore. Later this session, attention will turn to the weekly US employment data, which will likely show the recovery in the world's largest economy losing steam, especially after Friday's disappointing non-farm payrolls release. Economists predict a declining jobless claim. However, continued claims are expected to remain firmly above 11 million. Oil prices edged higher on Thursday as the approach of hurricane data caused the production in many of the rigs in Gulf of Mexico to be halted. Gains are small though, as fuel demand concerns persist with crude oil supplies rising. Crude futures traded 0.1% higher at $40.02 a barrel. Brent contract rose 0.3% to $42.12 a barrel. Both contracts fell over 1.5% on Wednesday. Gold future rose 0.1% to $1,891.80 per ounce. On the FX front, GBP/USD keeps the mixed outlook unchanged. According to the UOB Group, cable's prospect remains mixed and is now forecasted to trade between 127.50 and 130 in the short term. The pair is trading at 129.29 heading into Thursday's London Open. The cable extends Wednesday's rebound as the US dollar remains offered following the VP debate. This helps buyers to ignore fears of stricter local lockdown in the UK, as well as Brexit pessimism ahead of BOE Governor Andrew Bailey's comments in the online panel discussion. With the UK's national count of the coronavirus rising past 14,160 on Wednesday, parts of Northern England may follow tough activity restrictions in Scotland from Monday, per The Sun. Following the update, a representative from the UK's Office for Budget Responsibility, Charlie Bean, ex-BOE Deputy Governor, mentioned that a sharp rise in coronavirus cases is likely to cause Britain's economic recovery to stall until the resurgence comes under control. Brexit headlines aren't also positive, even as private talks continue in London, while the head of European Parliament's Fisheries Committee continues to press for more. The UK's chief negotiator David Frost has already told per Reuters that Britain will need to keep negotiating with the European Union even if a full free trade agreement is not possible. While the risk-on mood favour Asia-Pacific shares and S&P 500 futures to print gains, the dollar index remains on the back foot for the second day amid a lack of safe haven demand. The dollar index is trading at 93.562, while dollar yen was largely flat at 105.97. Euro-dollar climbed 0.2% to 117.78. seeing a short covering of its positions amid volatility due to US elections. This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.